before noting down, please try to understand me what exactly I want to tell you. Look. So before going into this chapter, plant kingdom, so put the heading plant kingdom. I want to ask something to you. So next chapter, kingdom Plantae. Plantae. So kingdom Plantae, which were the first plant arrived on Earth? Which were the first plant arrived on the Earth? Tell me, please, both of
Sir, green plant.
you. Green plant. So what were the name of those green plant? Plants are all green.
Yes.
Yes, Nishan. Rafiq, tell me. The first plant which arrived
Sir,
on
like Moses.
Moses.
Moses. Yes, Moses.
Okay, Moses. Fine. So now this is my chance to tell me what is the first plant which arrived on the Earth, right? So let me tell you. Look, actually, first and foremost plant which arrived on the Earth, they were algae actually. So algae are mainly aquatic plant. Then nature made such kind of the plant which do not live only in water, rather they are also fit to live on the land. And these plants were bryophytes. So after thousands of years of arrival of algae, bryophytes came on the earth. Bryophytes. Bryophytes are like amphibian. They can live in water and land both, and they require water for their reproduction. That's why in plant kingdom we call them amphibian of plant. So they are called amphibian. They have been compared with amphibian. So they are called amphibian of plant. What are the amphibian? Example of amphibian? Look, amphibian means like frog. Frog is amphibian. Frog can live in water and land both, but it cannot reproduce without water. The same with bryophytes. Bryophyte can also live in water and always land, but we compare them as amphibian. The main reason is that they cannot reproduce without water like amphibians. So that's why they are called amphibian of plant. After the thousands of years after arrival of bryophyte, the next important plant, mosses actually they are bryophytes. And now third, they are called Peridotophyte. So after that, Peridotophyte arrived. Peridotophyte arrived, they thrive on the earth after thousands of years after arrival of Peridotophyte. The next more advanced plant came, the name was there, Gymnosperm. And we called Jurassic time period was the golden era of Gymnosperm, when Gymnosperm were ruling on the earth. But what happened after the climate change, and the Gymnosperm and giant lizard both vanished from the earth, and now the lizards are like these giant lizards, dinosaurs which we call them. They are just found in the form of the fossil only. And if we talk about the Gymnosperm, they are found in a certain geographical area like mountains and these higher altitude area. And across the earth, they have been replaced by the more advanced plant. Last but not the least, they are angiosperm. When we talk about the angiosperm are the most advanced plant. Whatever you see across your across the globe, these are the angiosperm. They are called flowering plant actually. They are the only plant which bear flower. So angiosperm, further they have been divided in two classes. First, dicot, and the more advanced than dicot, they are called monocot. Clear? Note it down the sequence. This is just a glimpse of snapshot. Now I am going to start snapshot. So note it down the sequence. This is the sequence. That's how they have evolved, and that's how they have arrived on that. And what is the basis of evolution? I will tell you now. Then we will start with algae. Did? Note it down.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Istisham, note
Yes,
it
sir.
down.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Done.
Great. So look, now I'm going to start with how, how I am saying that this is less evolved. That is, look. So first I told you that this is the algae which arrived on the earth. So what are the algae and why they are the least advanced plant? Actually, they are the plant which arrived first on the earth. So they have no root. So plant is not divided into root, stem, and leaves. So what we call this kind of the plant, which do not have root, stem, and you cannot detect a stem, root, and leaf-like structure. Differentiation is not. These kind of plant are called thallus. So they are thallus-like body. So these are called thallus-like body. Means they are thalloid plant. Clear? So when you find that there is a plant, it do not have stem, root, or leaf-like structure, you will call that, you call, no. What the term you will use? This is not the correct term to use plant for it. Rather than plant body, we can call it, this is the thalloid body. It's a plant kingdom. It belongs to plant kingdom, Plantae, and the body is like thallus. So when you get the thallus term, you understand that this is the plant which do not have differentiation of root, stem, and leaf. Next, there is no seed, fruit, and flower. Again, there is no vascular system. What is the vascular system? Guys, what are the vascular system? Vascular system means that is xylem, which conduct water, and phloem.
Yes.
Xylem and phloem both are absent. Clear?
Yes, sir.
After the algae, those plants which came on the earth, so they are called bryophytes. And few seconds back, first try to understand, then I'll give you time to note it out. They are called amphibian of plant kingdom. We have written down. They are called amphibian of plant. Look, what is the peculiarity of this one, bryophytes? Actually, algae are like this kind of the plant. Of how can you say this is Chlamydomonas? We'll study in detail. Now there is no root, stem, and leaf-like structure. You cannot detect that. Bryophytes are a bit more developed than algae. How they are more developed? First, they are found also on the land, mainly on the land, and they do not have root, but they have root-like structure. So these structure which are functionally root, but we cannot call them root. So they are called rhizoids. What is the function of rhizoid? They help is anchor. So anchorage, anchor on the ground. They help in water absorption. They help in mineral absorption. Again, in the upper surface, so they are dorsiventral, means lower surface is different. They have rhizoid. In lower surface, they have rhizoids. Upper surface, they have very beautiful hair-like structure. They are not actually leaves, but functionally they are leaves. So they are called scale. Scale are like leaves. Rhizoids are not root, but like root. So root-like structure developed. Again, leaf-like structure developed. Leaf-like structure. Leaf-like structure developed. So what are the scales? Scales are responsible for photosynthesis. Photosynthesis. So they are leaf-like structure. Now, what happened? They do not have, again, no root, stem, or leaves. Again, we can say this is also a thalloid body, like thallus-like body. So again, we call them, this is thallus, right? So thallus-like body, but development is that rhizoids and scale are present. Scale develop. Okay. Again, no seed, fruit, or flower. Again, no vascular system. Please note it down. Then we'll go ahead. Let me know when you note it down.
So done.
Done? Okay. Both of you did? Completed? Shoaib? Done?
Done, sir.
Okay, great. Okay. So are you both of the people getting my each and every point what I am delivering you? Are you getting it 100%?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. If you feel anywhere problem, so let me know on that point. Don't never hesitate. Third are Peridotophyte. So actually now what happened? Now these plant like now the actual plant arrived on the earth. Now after seeing the pteridophyte, you can say yes, this is plant actually. So pteridophyte are this kind of a structure. So they have certain this spring-like leaf-like structure and certain proper developed leaf. So they are actually. So what happened for sake of reproduction there? They do not have seed, but they are spore-like. These spore falls down, and these they are called spore. Like so, look. So first point is that now plant is divided into your plant body is divided into plant body is divided into stem, root, and leaves. First important thing, right? Now the plant body is looking like still. No seed, flower, or fruit. Again, these all three things are missing. Next, but they have poorly developed vascular system. But yes, vascular system developed. That is, we can say, that is xylem and phloem developed. Phloem developed. So that kind of development taken place. And actually, in like when I will tell you, when I will teach you pteridophyte, I will tell you that this vascular system is poorly developed, but we call it stellar system, right? So now the development taken, that plant look like they have stem, root, and leaves, and again they have a spore-like reproducing body, and again the vascular system developed. Now the third plant arrived. That was fourth category of the plant arrived. They were gymnosperm. Gymnosperm. So gymnome is naked and sperm is seed. So gymnosperm arrived on that. Now the plant body, again, the plant body, it looked like plant. So it have a root, a stem, and leaves well developed. Next. No seed, sorry, seed developed, but naked. It is not covered, but not covered. Again, vascular system well developed, vascular system well developed. And the last point, no fruit and flower. Fruit and flower are still not developed. So generally the gymnosperm, they are well developed plant, cycas and pinus. So they are this kind of plant. They have bone. So this is the cycas and pinus. Right? So develop it. Note it down, please. Clear?
Yes, sir, done.
Done. Great. Rafiq, done?
Sir, only 1 minute.
Yeah, sure. Note it down. No. Take your time. No issue.
Done, sir.
Okay, great. Fifth, now the most advanced and most developed plant arrived on the earth, and they were no other than bus angiosperm. So angiosperm means angio means covered and sperm means seed. Those plants which have covered seed, they are called angiosperm. They are the most advanced plant on the earth, right? Now everywhere these plants which flower, they are called angiosperms. Angiosperms are called flowering plant actually. They are called flowering plant. Now they have everything, whatever you expect or whatever you see in a well-developed plant. So they have a root, a stem, and leaf, well developed. Seed, flower, and fruit present. They have most efficient vascular system. Vascular system, that is xylem and phloem. Vascular system. Now again, they have been divided into two parts. So monocot are actually, they have single cotyledon, means single cotyledon. Means their seed cannot divide it into two parts. Like example, maize, right? So this is the maize kernel. So seed cannot be divided into two parts. This is like maize. So what are they? Actually, all the crop plant, this is single cotyledon. All the crop plant and all the grasses, they all come under the monocot. Again, the second one, they are called dicot. So dicot is the family of where they have two cotyledon. Family of two cotyledon. So what are the two cotyledon? So first cotyledon like this one, and the second cotyledon like this. So like gram, right? So what are the dicot? Dicot are the mainly like pulses plant. So all pulses plant, they are dicot. So there are two kinds of angiosperm, dicot and monocot. Note it down. Then we will start with the algae. Noted?
Done.
Rafiq?
Done.
Okay, great. So now we will start with, so tell me first. So is it crystal clear to you, this complete plant classification? Any doubt?
No, sir, clear.
No, sir.
So one more important plant kingdom is plant kingdom. Plant classification. Look. Now I am going to show you a chart of actually plant classification, right? But we have not to study complete plant classification. We have to study only those parts which are in our syllabus. I am going to show you a diagram of chart of actually plant classification. So this is plant classification system. This is actually plant. Look, now we have divided the kingdom Plantae into 4 parts, and we have studies all these parts, 5 parts. First, Algae. Second, Bryophyta. Third, Peridotophyte. Fourth, Gymnosperm, and fifth, Angiosperm. Again, whatever we have to study, that I will underline with the red. Again, algae have been divided into 3 parts: chlorophyce, pheophyce, and rhodophyce. Chlorophyce means green algae. Pheophyce means brown algae, and rhodophyce is red algae. We have to study all these 3 algae because they are in our syllabus. So they are in your NCERT. Again, the bryophyte have been divided into 2 parts: liverwort and mosses. These both are in your NCERT. We have to study them as well, right? Again, the Peridotophyta have been divided: Xylophyta, Lycophyta, Sphenophyta, and Pterophyta. But we have not to study in them. They are not in our syllabus. So we have to just study what? We have to study only the Pteridophyte general characteristics. Again, Gymnosperm have been divided into 4 categories: Stachydiales, Coniferales, Gingales, and Nitales. But in our syllabus, the Gymnosperm are just in this way, that they have been defined in general as a general characteristic. But yes, we have to study dicot and monocot both. They are a part of Angiosperm. So take the screenshot. Clear?
Yes,
What we have to study? Let me. I will tell you this one. It is required actually, because without these one you won't be able to understand your NEET question. So by the way, they have not been mentioned in your NCERT, but you will get number of the questions of this. Ginkgo biloba. What is the ginkgo biloba? What is the value of ginkgo biloba? What are they actually? Taken a screenshot?
yes, sir, done.
Phase gas. Let's start with the algae. Clear? Let me show you what are the algae actually. So put the heading algae. Algae. So in general, if I will talk about the algae, so I will share with you your NCERT diagram for complete general characteristic of it. So they are these kind of the plant. Now, after seeing these kind of plant, you won't found anywhere like this is green algae, this is green algae, this is green algae, this is brown algae, this is brown algae, this is red algae, this is brown algae. So you cannot tell the where is the root, where is the shoot, where is the leaf-like structure. Actually, we also call them cryptogams. Cryptogams means what is literally mean of cryptogams? Crypto means hidden, and gamete means marriage. Actually, their sex organs are that much small that you cannot see them without microscope. So they have hidden marriage means they have microscopic sex organ. So that's why they are also called cryptogams. Clear? Cryptogams. So on the basis of color, we have divided algae into three categories. So the first one is called green algae. So if I talk you how they evolved. So the first algae which evolved on the earth, that was the red algae. After red algae, it was the brown algae which came on the earth, or which brown algae which arrived on the earth, and last but not the least, that is the green algae which arrived on the earth. So this is the sequence of algae: red algae, brown algae, and green algae. Right? Please note it down, the general characteristic of it. Algae are usually aquatic plant. Algae are usually aquatic plant, either marine or freshwater. Algae are actually usually aquatic plant, either marine or freshwater. Either marine or freshwater. Next point.
Either marine or
Freshwater. Freshwater means they are found either in salty water, means oceans and seas, and or in freshwater like sweet water. Next, the plant body is like thallus. Now you know what is the thallus. Plant body is like thallus. Next point. They are aquatic plant. They are aquatic plant where body is covered with. They are aquatic plant where body is covered with mucilage. Body is covered with mucilage. Actually, mucilage is gel-like structure. So
which leaf? Yes, repeat the name. Which leaves?
Mucilage. This one, mucilage. So mucilage is gel-like structure which prevent algae from dehydrating. It make them hydrate. And actually, this gel-like structure is made up of carbohydrate. So mucilage is actually carbohydrate. It is sticky gel-like substance which cover the algae around it and prevent them dehydrate. Right? So they are aquatic plant covered with mucilage. Next point. Vascular tissue are absent. Vascular tissues are absent. Next point. Body is flexible. Body is flexible and body is flexible and body is flexible and Mechanical tissue absent. Next point. Nutrition is photosynthetic. Nutrition is photosynthetic in general, as they have nutrition is photosynthetic in general, as they have chloroplast, as they have chloroplast. Next point. Vegetative and asexual reproduction is abundant. Vegetative and asexual reproduction is abundant. Next point. Sexual reproduction is absent. Sexual reproduction is absent in blue-green algae. Next point, very important point, make a star. Embryo stage is absent. Make embryo stage is absent in algae. Very important, medical question. Right? So these were the general characteristic of algae. And in next class, we will start with the red algae, and you will remind me that I have to start with the red algae.
Yes, sir.
Now tell me, is there any confusion, any doubt, or any problem in any chapter? Please tell me if you have. Both of you.